more. It be Saturday. Saturday. Oh. How quick. Ooh. Supposedly, it's gonna be rainy for this weekend, and then it's getting warm. So, sad days. But no, surprisingly I was, actually. Because usually when I play Pokemon nowadays, it tends to be like, I get very like, But, no, it was a lot of fun yesterday. It's been a while. A very long while. Hey ZZ. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good rest. I kind of went to bed late. Sorta. I see, I see. Well, I'm happy you enjoy it here. It is always a good thing. I woke up at like 11, and then I couldn't quite get out of bed straight away, and by the time I went to go look again, an hour had already flown by, and I'm like, oh, I should get up. To a degree, it does depend on like the type of microphone as well. Some seem to be nicer with tapping. Than others. They can be quite a bit tuning forks. Plus there's so many. Like, I'd have to sort of try and find the usual note that people mostly like. thank you. Half the time I babble on about things anyway. I keep feeling I want to cough. But I'm like reluctant to hit my mute button, because I'm scared of hitting the button. Should be okay. There we go. I ever so carefully hit it. But yeah. Definitely I guess a lot of nostalgia for the old Pokemon games. Like Silver was my first, but Crystal was, well, obviously it was just a quality of life version that they always do. But it's the first one where they started to move, on the handhelds at least. I know we had Pokemon Stadium and stuff, but you get what I mean. These little things were added a lot, especially for a child. And then you look at kind of what children get to grow up with these days, and it's like gacha games basically, which for the most part are very good, just I don't know. I feel like everyone should always start out with not necessarily the crappiest stuff, but just the more classic things, I guess. Just so there's an appreciation for those sorts of things. And then when you get older you get these other stuff. And holy moly, Subnautica 2 pops out in early access and all I see is everybody playing that game. Like, I get it. Subnautica did do a lot for the type of game that it was. But yeah. I don't know. It's as soon as I see early access, I'm like very reluctant to try something because I'm like, oh, it may look very interesting, but there's obviously way more that they want to add. So whenever it pops out properly, I will give it a go. The first one was pretty cool. I didn't actually get very far in it, but it was cool. main reason was because I'd already watched a load of people playing it to begin with, so by the time I gave it a go, I was okay. Noisy plane. But yeah, I do also want to play Gothic 1. It's a fairly old game. It's like 24 years old, I think they said, or something like that. It's pretty old for the original. Because there's going to be a remake coming out like next month. But I was like curious as to how the original was. It was one of those games, you see it now and again, but back then, well, I suppose there were quite a few back then that didn't do it. But it doesn't hold your hand. But it had a unique way of learning things. Like, you were literally, like, completely useless. And had to learn everything. Even, like, how to sneak properly. It was interesting. But there were other things in it as well. Like, of course you wouldn't know how to, like, get materials from a wild animal straight away. So that you wouldn't know how to actually skin it or get the teeth out properly. Or fangs, I guess, with wild creatures. But which is something I never thought about. I was like, oh yeah, of course you wouldn't know how to do it. So like you have to learn those kind of things as well, which is pretty cool. But I do want to give the original a go. It's like 16 quid. It's a super old game and it's 16 quid. I can find like the second and the third game for like dirt cheap, but I can't find the first. also reminds me, they did a trailer for the special anime that's going to be coming with the Echoes of Ironcrad thing. And it takes place after the game. So basically, the game only does the first 2 floors. That's all you get. But the anime starts on the 3rd floor, and it's like, okay. And then straight away it started kind of focusing on, obviously, the main characters. That would be so there is sort of a focus with Kirito again. But the thing was, it wasn't normal anime, it was CG anime, which can be okay. It's obviously to save costs, but yeah, it looks okay. So the fact that it's locked behind the Ultimate Edition is a bit cheeky, in my opinion. And I know animation, even if it's CG stuff, can cost. And then obviously you've got the voice actors and everything else in there. Like, I get it. It does cost. Like, heck, if you want just like 30 seconds or even a few minutes, having something animated usually costs anywhere from a couple of hundred to well over, a few thousand. And I get that it needs to be paid, but when everybody, like, this game's gonna sell somewhat decently, I feel, so it would more than pay for it, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I think they have asked a bit too much for the price. They could have lowered it ever so slightly. I think that would have done better. But we'll see how it goes when it pops out. I think it's gonna be kind of okay. Sobs. Wah. Hello. But I know it's going to be one of those things where it's probably going to not be worth the price tag, but even so. Hello. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good rest. 'Tis the weekend. Pretty much the midpoint of May. You might say the 15th, but there's more than 30 days, so I might as well just say the 16th is mid-May. Yay, good stuff. I'm glad. It's nice when you're able to get some good rest. I managed to get enough. I kinda went to bed late somehow, although I was doing sort of like there was an update on Enfield, which added another area, very pretty area. So it was mainly just like fixing up that place and connecting things again. It took a while. It took a while. That could have been a stream. But there's plenty of Arknights that I just don't stream. But I had fun with it. It was good. It feels warm. This is what I'm confused about. Why does it feel warm? It is apparently only 14 degrees, but it feels warmer. It feels warmer. Maybe just because my room's like closed up. I opened my window. I don't even think it's that humid either. Maybe I just need to drink more. What? Why would they want the heating on? Yeah, 17's fine. Especially if you're working in it. Wait, no. I think my home's usually around 20 something degrees. And my room's usually hotter because of the electrics. But yeah, 17's fine. Like, that's not cold. That's comfortable. Comfortable enough. It's just strange because it says 14, but it certainly doesn't feel like 14. And I didn't think it was that humid either. What is the humidity thingy? Usually it mentions. Rubbish! It says it feels like 13. Heresy. This ain't right at all. Something's not right there. Must just be my room then. Ooh. Maybe it's just my body telling me to drink more. Needs more liquid to maintain a coolness or something. Hey Nico. Hello. It's good to see you. Hope you've been doing well. And hope you're not feeling too hot. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Tea? Tea, Red. Tea. If they want you to... Okay, that's a strange thing. More gusto. Hello. Aye aye, ether charge. Thank you for the ether charge. And the stretch. Hope you've been doing well. Oh, okay. Tea. Reminds me of, well, the T-pose. It's like having dominance. Well, asserting dominance. No. It has. But it is good to see you. I hope you've been well. I am well too. But it looks like the weather's gonna warm up soon, which for most is like yay. I'm more of a rainy person, overcast, you know. The weathers most people don't like, but I enjoy them. Although don't get me wrong, a clear sky is nice, especially at night, because you get to see the stars. At least where I'm at. Well now. I'm sick over Mother's Day but feeling wonderful now. I'm glad you've gotten better. It is good to hear. Yeah, I don't know what it is with overcast. Like, just a sky covered in clouds. And then they vary, you know, if they're either, like, just very grey or very dark grey, you know, because they're full of rain. It's nice. And I'm not getting, like, blinded by the sun. Unless there's, like, a gap in the clouds. Clouds pass by and you get shone on and you're like, ah, my eyes. Hot is worse than cold. Each to their own, isn't it? Some people really like the hot. But in my case, like, I like the cold. I like winter. It is my cup of tea. yeah, it's easier to warm yourself up when it's cold, whereas when it's too hot, there's not really much you can do to cool yourself down. Autumn feels short. Anything that isn't summer and winter, the other seasons just feel short when they happen. I mean, Australia is especially hot, so that's understandable. You gotta be very careful, and especially depending on where you are in Australia. Like, yeah, you gotta be very careful with the heat. That's why I always wonder, like, how people play games in Australia and such. And thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. Because, like, surely it's so hot. How do you stop your machine from overheating? Or like when people go to do ASMR and they're in Australia, it's like, how do you keep your fans quiet enough? I feel it would be very difficult. It will either be the typical, the machine is completely separated from where you're actually having the microphone, or they have some kind of magic. Not a fan of sweating. Can't do much if you're sweating. To be fair, if you're sweating, that's technically good, because your body's doing its utmost to keep you cool. It doesn't feel great, but it's doing its best to keep you cool, so it's better than nothing. It's not like we're dogs or anything where we can't sweat and you need to pant like crazy because the only way you can cool yourself is through your tongue. So yeah, it may feel gross, but I'll take sweating. Like, you can just clean up after. Make yourself feel good for like a few minutes before you start sweating again. A hug. A hug. I can manage hugs. Hugs. All the hugs. All of the hugs. Although that said, my arms may look weedy, but my strength has increased quite a bit thanks to my job, so yeah. I suppose that's good for people that end up wanting, like, maybe a more sternly hug instead of a gentle one. Oh right, Asia. Don't use deodorant. Right. Yeah, I can imagine it would not have a nice smell. I never get why they are against deodorant in, like, Asian countries. Like, smelling it is basically like the deodorant. You said we don't use them. Well, the thing is, I feel like if it seems like if they were to smell the deodorant, they seem to treat it as, oh, they must smell so bad that they've had to use something to cover it up. And it's like, well, not necessarily. It's just there to, well, at least smell something better than just, horribleness. Because proper sweat without deodorant, yeah, absolutely smells horrendous. Like, anyone who's been into, like, a changing room that would be usually used by sports players, if they didn't use deodorant, smells utterly horrendous. I had that in my secondary school. It was so bad. It smelled horrendous. But, like, it was a building I never even used. So, Lord knows how the hell it smells that bad. I get other people would have used it, and it had been used over the years by other people, but, like, no one stayed on top of trying to make it, like, clean or smell nice. Okie dokie, Gusto. Have a good rest. Sleep well. Have lovely dreams. Even if you don't remember them. Rub flowers over the skin. Depends what you do. If you drink a lot of chocolate, you smell like it. Is that how it works? I mean, I semi-get it because it's meant to be like the stuff that you're eating, your body absorbs it, and you can end up having a faint smell. That's why, like, if you were to smell someone that worked in a flower shop, you're generally going to get, like, a sense of flowers from those people. If we were to go by what I mainly eat, there used to be pasta. Pasta doesn't really have much of a smell. I'd say the most consistent thing I eat is bread. Because I like my sandwiches. But I don't think I really... I don't know. I know I don't smell bad, I know that. Because I work with people who have very sensitive noses. Like, they smell anything weird and they're like, what's that smell? So, I know I don't smell bad. From fluids. Oh, good point. The drink I would drink as well. Apple and blackcurrant? Heck, if I tasted like apple and blackcurrant, even remotely, I'll take that. It's a nice flavour. Not biased at all. I like that you put the shirt smells like Biohazard. That's funny. And thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. Hello, Black Rose. Hello, hello. And hello, Doug. Hello. Greetings. Greetings. I think with the shirt, it's probably because you do end up sweating, and then it obviously gets caught on the shirt. The underarms, obviously, specifically. And, like, chest and the back. And then obviously you have, like, the sweat that dries into the material, and the after smell, I guess, isn't the greatest. But that is why you would probably use deodorant, because then it's kind of neutralizing the smell a bit. Only a bit. If you end up wearing it too much, it's gonna smell regardless. That's why you change clothing. It's a thick shirt. That sucks. Yeah, no airflow sucks. Yeah, that would be rough. Understandable. Like, give winter time. I wear thermals, obviously. But I wear breathable thermals. Well, else I wouldn't, I'd be sweating a lot more. But it's a fine balance. But yeah, non-breathable clothing is the worst. Like, you're gonna sweat so much more. You'd literally have to change clothes so often. So that sucks. No. I mean, obviously not, because you redeemed it, but it's the best that way. I like it when it's a slow trickle in, rather than from the get-go. Not the bugger. Oh, but congrats on first bugger. Yeah, people can redeem that whenever, but yeah, I like the slow ease into a stream. It's like settling in, whereas opposed to starting and then everyone's like blah 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 blah. I'm like, whoa. It's so weird. Why does it pop up there? I've never seen it pop up there. Oh, because usually... Because, I know why. Because I forgot a thing. I forgot a thing. There we go. What did you get anyway? A carp. Is she... a carp? So, you caught a Magikarp, basically. Splash. In some random news, or I guess updates for how some of the artwork is coming, the sort of animation one for ASMR sessions is being done. I just gotta wait now, basically. And the art piece, which I'm gonna just sort of use for like ASMR thumbnails on my YouTube thingy, so it doesn't just look like the same thing. Has been coloured. For the most part, they said there was going to be some things, but it already looks like really nice. And I'm like, oh. I think they were like confirming how the background and the tone was, and I was like, yeah, it looks nice, it looks calm, it looks cozy. So we'll see how that goes. I like how they did my eyes. Laurie! Hello! Hello, hello. Welcome in. I hope you had a good rest from the day before. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, got to hear it. I am doing well too. Went to bed a little late. Woke up a little late as well. But yeah, I'm doing alright. Had my bath. Had lunch. Briefly remembered that I was supposed to hoover, so I did that. Although I do need the loo. Makes me laugh with the loo, the toilet, because, what was it? It was years ago, but at work, there were times where, like, I very rarely go anyway, especially at work. Cow, hello. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, workplace, I try my best to not really go at the workplace, because it's just no. But if I really can't hold it, then I'm like, I go. Me, I'm okay. But thank you. Usually the people that say, that give such compliments are the wonderful ones, say. It's easy, it's a kind one. But basically, it would be, I never rush going to the loo, and my work basically had it where they were like, how the hell does it take you so long? Like, as if they expect me to be done in like under a minute or something. I'm just like, what the hell do you lot do? Like, and how do you wash your hands if you went to the loo and you're meant to spend at least 20 to 30 seconds washing your hands? So, bloody hell, like, what on earth? People are crazy. But I basically just said, if you really think that I'm just in there to like hide away or skive off of work, it's like you can literally like listen if you really want to, and have a sample if you want proof, and they immediately just go, no, it's okay. I'm like, yeah, shut up. Like, it takes me that long, that's all. Not everybody's super quick. Will I watch the Toho World Cup? To be honest, I didn't even know they were having a World Cup. What is it a World Cup over? And Ronin! The Tier 3 for 15 months? Wow, it's 15? Oh, I guess. Whoa. I guess it is. Such 15 months. Let me grab your name. Where's your name? Ronin. Whoosh. Whoosh. Oh, here we go. I think I did it. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. It has been quite some months. I shall forego giving numerous amounts of praise and stuff. However, it is at least manners to thank when people do such things, so I will at least say thank you. Because yes, manners. I was brought up with them, so you know. Hang on, let me find half my menus again. Manners, manners. Manners? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that. There we go. But yeah, 15 months already. Blimey. I'm gonna have to like update the badges soon. Because I don't have any. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to update the badges with something new when people. Because I think they have it for like 9 months and then a year, and then there's like just a massive gap, I think. Hey Big Chum, hello. Yagi, hello. Thank you for the head pats. Oh. I like that red. If you want to slack off, you'll do it on the job. Don't need a restroom. That is true. Making yourself look busy is far easier than just simply hiding in the toilets. You're mad? What has gotten you mad? How be the weekend? The weekend be okay. I slept alright, I believe. I hope you managed to have some good sleep as well. And yeah, it's the weekend. I'm trying to hope that it doesn't fly by. You feel annoyed before work? To be fair, there are days where you can just simply be annoyed. Then you just wake up and just everything's annoying. Those days do exist. A drink. You shall have a drink. Thank you for the charge and stretch. It is the one and only. Who on earth brags that it's fun to be in your 20s? Maybe they brag about specific parts, but I don't know who on earth does that. I'd say getting to your 30s and stuff can potentially be nice. Like, there are many people that tend to get in their 20s, but they still have their mindset from, like, when they're teenagers. Which is a little... 30s when you start to settle down. Yaki, you make it sound bad. Well, actually no, I know what you mean. Yeah, actually, no, that makes sense. It is when people tend to calm down a bit and be a bit more, like, take a step back kind of thing and actually listen. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. It depends on the person, Big Chum. Like, how you end up tackling it. But it's not that bad. People think it's old. It's not old. Only young people think that it's old. Children think that 30 is old. So, you know. Maybe if we go back to, like, not the Stone Age, a bit after the Stone Age. Maybe if we go back in time where people were only living till, like, their 40s if they were lucky, then yeah, fine. You could say 30 is old. But when you've got people living till 80, 90 and 100, 30 is not old. It'd be fun if you found a gold block flowing. A gold block? Why a block? It's the 40s, some say it's the 20s, or some actually do like working till their 50s. Working till they're 50. Or if you like to go by this country, you got people in their 70s still working. Because we can't... no one can retire early enough. They don't have the money. But again, I work with people that are like, you know, 50, 60, 70, or just like late 40s, and none of them class themselves as old. Not yet. They're like, once I retire, then I'll consider being old. I mean, that's usually how it goes with two people. They end up wanting a kid, so they have one. Brain just imagined a Minecraft gold block. I did as well. That's why I was like, a block of gold? What? I'm surprised it managed to flow down the river. It must be a pretty big river. But, yeah, I'd say you're only as old as you want to feel. If, like, just everything ends up being I don't know. Even if everything's draining, like, it's still down to what you end up doing. Water sported out? Water sported. And honestly, impressive if someone actually manages to find the purpose in their life and chases it, because I'm pretty sure a great majority don't have a clue what to do with their lives. I certainly don't. I'm like piecing it together very slowly. Every decade I seem to unlock a new piece, and I'm like, okay, yeah. Maybe by the time I hit my 60s, I'll be like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna chase it. Now I'm suddenly thinking of bean sprouts. Where did that come from? Bean sprouts. Bean sprouts. Bell sprout. Come on, show me your moves. Bell sprout. I had good fun yesterday with Crystal. Like, I don't know what it is, just seeing the simple animations, just seeing how can you unsubscribe to life? Technically, some people would call that a thing that is not good. Or at the very least it could mean like you don't want to bother with society at least. Hence there being many paths in quotations, to life. Did I fight another gym battle? Potentially. Who was the last one you saw me fight? I may have done. I think I did, yeah. Because I think I did a gym just before I ended. It was the Bugsy. I fought Bugsy. The bug trainer. Well, gym leader. Who obviously got burnt to a crisp because I just have Ember. That is my doggo. Holy balls. Something... He was so chill the other day. Why is he so... Is he okay today? What's upsetting him? I might have to go see why he's not chill. And Violet and the other one in the next city. I know why he's barking. He's the kind where he would like look outside the window, see people walk by and bark at them. He's that type of dog. And I know the type of sounds that he makes. So he could have also seen a bird in the backyard and didn't like it. Heck, he does it to us as well. If we're at like certain entrance ways, he doesn't like it and he'll bark. Good morning, Rigby. I hope you had a good rest. It was okay, I guess. I see. At least there was some, at the very least. That is something. that and do bits and bobs in between, big chum. That's all we can do. We may forget about some of the bits and bobs in between, but it's what can end up making it at least more enjoyable. It's getting there. I hope it eases up soon, because bad backs suck. And you certainly don't want to do it in, because that doubly sucks. It can be. You just gotta find those things. Gold panning. For some reason, I'm imagining like having those sieve thingies, and you're sifting through dirt to find bits of gold. Now I'm thinking of Golden Nuggets, the cereal. I haven't had that in an extremely long time. Golden Nuggets, they taste a yeehaw. That is what you're suggesting? Way, I understood a thing. Praise be. Let's all go to Australia then. Gold panning is basically your you'd find like an area, a plot of land, so to speak, and you can go digging in it, and effectively, or at least very much, you can do it with the rivers as well. You'd end up having a metal detector trying to find gold, and if it goes off, you do a little bit of digging, you can put a load of gold into what is basically a sieve, enough to let the dirt through, but then hopefully bits of gold end up staying. So you're effectively looking for gold. That's basically what it is. You're just digging, trying to find natural resources that have value, because you have gold digging, you have stuff for looking for opal, and that's also another one. And at least the way it works in Australia is usually there's an area that you'd pay like a permit to be able to dig and scour the land for a bit. You'd own the rights for a limited time, and then you go in search of gold, or whatever it is you're looking for. But you can have poachers, so people who are there illegally and, well, doing the same thing, looking for gold, but they're there illegally. So, like the videos where they find the beautiful quartz and other gems. Yeah, they're nice. They're nicer. It's nice when they find the beautiful rocks. Not spawning yourself in the Australian server seems dangerous. I don't think I'd handle the Australian side too well either. Mainly just because I don't like bugs and critters normally anyway. Although I don't know, maybe I'll act differently just because they're so supersized. I'll probably be like, whoa, what the balls, but then I don't know, there's something different when it's really small. You have boring hobbies? Technically so do I. I just play a load of games and I listen to music. Like, very generic. But mainly because I'm still on the search for effectively the game of my dreams, which I know can't really exist. It's very difficult for it to exist. Might even find a perfectly round stone. Round stone. To be fair, if you found anything that was of size, then bloody hell, that's a good find. Like, do you know how much you get just for a few ounces? Plenty. Oh yeah, they were showing stuff with Forza Horizon 6. And they were finally like testing my card, so they were testing a 5080. Now I want to point out, when they were testing other cards, like anything below a 5080, they were testing a, 2K, stuff like that. Meant to be very good optimization, over 100 FPS and all that stuff, and that was without. Because I saw one for like the 5070 as well, and other cards, but it was like, oh, it runs really well. Like, I'm not even using DLSS yet. And it was running well, getting over 100 FPS. And then they do the 5080, and straight away, not 2K, 4K, straight away. And then like, oh yeah, it's getting like, just about 60 FPS. And I'm just like, yeah, but they've turned everything on, as in like, max graphics, ray tracing, God knows what else, everything, max, on. And I'm like, I wouldn't. I mean, granted, the 5080 should be, honestly, a bit more for what it should be able to offer, but yeah, there were certain segments where it was getting down to like 40, like in the more crazier, dense areas of stuff happening, it was getting around 40, so it was mixing around between 40 to 60, which is okay. For a racing game, you don't really want it sinking below 60. You want that fluidity, because it's racing. Shopping isn't really a hobby? I don't know. It can be. I think anything can be a hobby. Like, if shopping can also be a job, because yes, there are people that you can hire to do such a thing, so it can be a job. If it can be a job, it can be a hobby. Because there are some people that really love to window shop. And go in stores and look around, but some people just really like looking around. Or trying to find, like, hidden things that you wouldn't necessarily see online. I think that's what, like, physical stores lack as well. They should have stuff that you can't necessarily get online, because then it warrants you going out. Oh, why would I go to the high street if I can simply just get it online? We'll have stuff you can't get online. Have special deals that aren't online. And people will be like, okay. So, yeah. Shopping can be crazy. And if there's deals and such, and sales, battles happen. So people can take shopping very seriously. You're quite content with 2K, anything above, and that's just edits and videos. I agree. Like, I think it's because this screen can manage 4K, but its FPS gets limited to 60. But I'm not really fussed with that. I don't want to push things at 4K. I'm honestly okay with 2K. 2K is more than enough for me. It looks nice. And it's a good middle point. for having something still look good and having some fluidity and like a bit more room for things, as it were. Hello. Hello, Pin. Hope you're doing well. Number 4 in 2K looked stunning. Apparently it's got the same sort of... Well, like the optimization and all that stuff is still there, even in this one. So it's boding well, it seems, for this new version of Horizon. You mostly buy couple board games despite being painfully single. I remember when I was a kid, my sister had... I don't quite know what it was. It's like it came with a phone, but it was one of those where there was also cards, and it had different guys on it, and you could insert the card as if you were calling them up, sort of thing. For the life of me, I can't remember what, though. That might be it, yeah. It was a pink phone, by the way. But that was something my sister had, and I remember playing that a few times with her. I didn't understand it, so maybe that's why I can't really remember it. But I definitely remember it. There was that, and there was the Sylvanian families, which are nice. What else? I don't know. There was something else, I can't quite remember it. Board games can be taken so seriously. My bringing up with board games, I always had people that took it seriously, so it kind of ruined the fun. So maybe that's why I'm not so gun-ho towards board games. But I think if you actually have people that enjoy it with you, then... And obviously a bit of competition is okay, but as long as it's like not taken so seriously that it ruins the fun, then yeah. I like playing Snakes and Ladders alone. I used to play that a lot. Not through a board game, it was usually like through a mobile or something, because it always came with Snakes and Ladders. Well, sorry, no, that wasn't Snakes and Ladders, that was just Snake. That was just Snake, my bad. I do remember Snakes and Ladders though. I could never make it to the top. I always ended up landing on the ladders that lower you a few floors, so to speak. Don't have many or even a single player game. I mean, board games are generally made to be played with others. It's a bit hard to play a board game on your own. Healthy competition and bickering. All I remember is healthy competition happened, bickering happened, and then someone takes it so seriously that they get so annoyed, and then they walk off. They don't want to play anymore. It's just like, oh, well, I guess we can't play anymore. Oh, mobile phone for me was when I was a teenager. Like mid-teens. Mid-teens is when I had a mobile phone by that point. Because phones weren't really common. I remember the first mobile that we had in the household. It was a very nice big brick with an antenna that you could screw on and off. And the display screen was about the size of, like, say, your pinky finger. That was the size of the display screen. Just so you could see who was calling. Or who you were calling. And that was the mobile. And the size of it was, if anybody knows the size of like the Xbox 360's power brick. A bit smaller than that, but about that size. If you don't know the size of that, tries to think of other references. No idea. It was just a very big thing. And very chunky. You'd throw that at someone, it's gonna hurt. Good times. Good times of old mobile phones. D&D as a single player mode. Wonder how that works. I mean, it is left to the person's creativity, so I suppose, yeah, why not? As long as you wouldn't mind it, I suppose. I feel like board game people are just considered the unfun ones in the group because you're so dedicated, but everyone wants to chit-chat. Yeah, like you just want to get on with the game. It's like, come on, I'm about to blah 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 blah. And then they're just like, yep, we're getting there. It's because it's also viewed as like a social gathering in some sense. So that's probably the reason for the chit-chat. They don't sell that. First mobile you got at your home was a Motorola flip phone. Well, that was quite a ways in then, because flip phones came around eventually. But they certainly were not the first. The Nokia brick phone. The one that's meant to be held as a very resilient phone. Yeah. Until you dropped it on the road and it got stolen. What the hell? Who the hell steals an 11-year-old phone? Bizarre. First smartphone you got was in 2019 when you got into college. I would never have got a smartphone if it wasn't for some people when I was playing on FF14. They were talking like a group chat thingy that you could only really get to on a smartphone sometimes, so I was like, I don't have one. So I ended up getting one. Don't know what year that was though. My phone before that was a white Docomo flip phone literally from Japan. I loved it so much. It was so good. It was so good. Oh, I'm remembering too, but it was a white one. Very nice, very sleek. And it used to be, if you were trying to call me and I didn't answer, my voicemail would actually be in Japanese, because it was a Japanese phone, which I didn't know about until a friend in college tried calling me and that happened, and then he mentioned it to me. Docomo? Probably not Docomo. I can't remember the brands from Japan. I don't even know where it is gone anymore. It's somewhere. I also had a cute little character that liked to walk around on the desktop of my phone. That one wasn't a smartphone though, but I had like a little sheep maid that liked to walk around on my desktop. I don't know how it got there, but it was always there, so I was just like, okay. Great googly moogly. Whoosh. Oh, the peck, the boop. Oh. Hum. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Hello, Keely. Hope you're doing well. desktop goose was fun. Goose. The goose. But yes, I now need to check. I'm sorry, Keely. No, I was right. It was Docomo. NTT Docomo was the like where my phone came from. It was one of their phones. Obviously, it's not the manufacturer. That's just a carrier, but it still had it on the phone. It was one of their phones. Yes. Taking deep breaths is always good. It helps. It's okay. We all get stressed and have crappy days. Breathing though. Breathing. Well, I haven't really done breathing exercise, but it'd be the usual. Golfing. That's amusing. But yeah. I'll do a form of breathing. I ain't gonna do assisted breathing, or I forget what it's called, but yeah. It should at least sound calming, hopefully. But yeah. I just need to remember. Thank you, Nose, for being so whistly today. I see. I don't know. Because apparently it's one of the major ones in Japan. Thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. I wonder if I invert it. That's just weird. I'll just try breathing through my mouth. I don't usually breathe through my mouth, but yeah. universe give me pins and needles. Oh. Pins and needles indeed. To be fair, if I was properly around some flowers, I wouldn't really be sniffing much. It would set my nose off. Or my body, I guess, because hay fever, pollen sets it off. I'd sniff it a little, I'd be like... But that'd be it. I wouldn't be like... I was going to say Lapras for a second. I was like, Lapras? Sniffing a cactus. There's a cactus? I know cactus can have flowers growing on them. But did they actually have a scent? Lapis. 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 Lapis indeed. I should probably whisper it now and then, instead of just talking low. You smell nothing. Whispering. Well, depends on the flower. With some flowers it can be very mild. Also, it depends how good your nose is. Like, some people can hear certain smells. So here, some people can smell certain smells better than others. And you might not smell anything at all. The good old out of context. That is true. Like, if you were to take a lily, for example, lilies tend to be quite strong with their smell, very potent.
pause for other things before you're about to go watch something was always nice. Because you might see something and go, oh, that looks pretty interesting actually. I see. Hey, Odd. Welcome in. Oh, the horrors. I need to sort. Or I feel like I need to end up sorting stuff out for that special reward. Else, I'm gonna have nothing for anybody. But yeah, I'll need to sort something. True, but I'm sure some people are probably quite close to it. Yep. I remember Toonami. A good channel. A good channel. I can't remember what the places I watched on it, but I know I watched things on it. I hope you're doing okay though, Odd. Hope you managed to get more sleep from yesterday. I sound sleepy. What? How do I sound sleepy? I'm whispering. I thought I'd try whispering instead of talking loudly. Yawning. Oh, I do tend to yawn, to be fair, when I do ASMR. It's because when I do ASMR, I have to like lower my chair, so my body's position isn't great for circulation of the body, so I find I tend to yawn more when I do ASMR. I stayed away from Adult Swim because I thought, well, when I was a kid, I thought it was for adults, so I didn't go to it. I stayed away from it because it, yeah. 2 AM. How on earth do you wake up so early in the morning? Oh, I'm sorry, Aggie. That's heresy. I feel like if you even say one thing in chat, it should just count. It shouldn't be a time thing. Kids still watched it. I remember there being a few things on there that I could have watched, but like there was one show I ended up watching, which is ironic because it actually had nudity in it, which for an anime was interesting. But it wasn't anything like crazy, it was just simply like maybe it got to a hot springs or a bathing scene. That's all it would have been. Like bathing with the MC or something, you know, the typical staples you would have seen in animes. Thank you for the follow, thank you kindly. Ah, so you wake up having to go to the loo. I see, I see. I see.
I kind of make sure I go before I go to bed. But like, even if my body ends up wanting it, I wake up and I'm like, no, let's just go back to sleep. But I end up waking up and bursting for the loo, so. Over Full Metal Alchemist. I'm very glad I didn't end up watching these shows, like the English versions, because it sounds like in the early days they were doing their own thing. The bathroom's outside your door? Blimey. Very close by then. I mean, I only need to walk a few meters and then it's there for me too, but I'm really not a morning person. I tend to just make myself go back to sleep. I just try not to move much. It is warm. Why does it warm in my room? Beep. Oh, I hope you're okay with seeing without your glasses, relatively. If I have my glasses off, everything's blurry. I can still move without them, like I can still like guide myself. I'm okay, but everything is blurry. Don't ask me to read anything if I haven't got my glasses on. Well, unless it's like right in front of me, then I'm okay. But in a distance, no. As soon as I'm like barely a meter past my vision, I can't see anything. Get the circles effect? The circles effect. Circles? For some reason I'm just imagining like in anime when they start getting confused and they get the spirally circles for the eyes. You wouldn't trust yourself to go down the stairs without your glasses? You can't read past 30 centimeters without them. I think I'm kind of the same then. Like, so I'd say for reading everyone right now, like reading the chat box, I'm like, what, little over 30 centimeters away? If I take off my glasses, I think my brain is like piecing things together, even though it's blurry. But it really is not good. Like, if I squint, which I know you're not supposed to do, if I squint, focus eyes, focus. I can't even do the focus thing anymore. It just it doesn't work. I can sort of make out words, and my brain is like, that looks like that. Oh, okay, yeah, it's that word. Thanks, brain. Squinting doesn't work anymore for me. I squint and it just stays blurry. It won't let me do it. It sounds like a sword move. Starburst. Starburst effect. Whoosh. Well, not the effect, but you get what I mean. Up close, at least. Yeah. Like, if something's, like, near enough... Not right in my face, but say about, I don't know, 15 centimeters away, I can read it. That's fine. Fuzzy eye sickness from Dr. Stone? What is Dr. Stone? Is it a show? As in, like, is it an anime? Or is it real people show? Or is it a film?
Talk to the trees, rocks. It's an anime. Okay. I have not seen it. Got a lazy eye problem from far and close. And the very little. Want to read that as asked. Very little. Very little asked, but really little. People got turned into stone for 1,000 years. Oh, sorry, for thousands of years. Where did this happen? Rare board games. I wonder what constitutes as a rare board game nowadays. 5 seasons. Blimey. That's a lot of seasons. Then again, Danmachi has about, what, 5 or 6 seasons, so I still need to catch up to that. Nightmare is a rare board game? What a name for a board game. Not to play. Nightmare. Is it on 5 now? To be fair, I'm behind anyway. Like, I think I've seen the first 2 seasons. I haven't seen season 3 or 4. So I know, right? I remember when I thought it was basically 1 season, and then I was like, oh, but there is a 2nd season, okay. And I seen the 2nd season, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's at like season, or when I last heard of it, it was at season 4, and I'm like, what? There's that many seasons? Jesus Christ. And yeah, there's like 5 seasons. Raven, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good rest. Mine was much the same, Rigby. Back when I watched it, it was pretty much as it was airing. So, yeah, there was only 1 season. And eventually there ended up being a 2nd season, and I can't remember if I watched it all. I know I watched a portion of it. But it did end up having a 2nd season. But I didn't even know it had more than that. I was like, whoa, Jesus Christ. Good, you just finally woke up woke up from sleeping in 3 hours. You woke up from sleeping in 3 hours. As in, you slept for 3 hours? Well, as long as it was good, I'm glad. Oh, you slept 3 hours longer than normal. Okay. Sorry, my brain was like, what? Oh, you slept in 3 extra. Okay, yeah, I see how it's structured now. Yes, okay. I'm glad it was a good sleep though. And clearly you needed, or at least you wanted, the extra hours. I think it's because my brain wants to add another word. Whereas like, I think the way my brain would have done it would just be like, woke up from sleeping in an extra 3 hours. But that's my brain, don't worry. You turned off your alarm and let your body wake up when it wanted. Nice. It's nice when you have those days, and it ends up feeling nice. What? What? How the hell has that show got a 5th season? I've never actually watched that show, but how the hell does it have 5 seasons? What? remember seeing something on it, and I was like, okay. But you are right. There's a bunch of shows where it'd be nice for them to have more seasons. Like I don't mind My Dress Up Darling. My Dress Up Darling? Is it My Dress Up Darling? Something like that. Having more, because simply I just want them to get together, because they clearly should. But the second season happened and they're still not together. But progression is being made. Progression is being made. So I hope they give it a third season. They aren't together. No. No, they're not. Not yet. Before they hold hands. Before they do anything that seems like romantic between them. Even though, you know, they've already, like, in a sense, touched each other up and laid on one another, kind of thing. But that was already too much for them. And I wonder if they're going to end up having a small segment again where they try getting her to what is it? Model more. Because at one point you end up having her, I guess the person that's in charge of her, ends up asking him if he could talk to her about it, but I think he decides against it because he sees how much she loves, obviously, the cosplay side of things. I mean, heck, she throws a birthday party for Shizuka, her favourite character. Like a very typical otaku throwing birthday party, like cake, wearing a face mask. Actually, there wasn't a shrine, so that's okay. But having a cake for her is funny. She really likes that character. It's the most obvious couple. Yeah, but if it's just handed to us, it's not going to be as exciting. There's a build-up and you know it's coming. It's just like, come on, come on. Like, I think also, Gojo has ended up realizing as well that potentially he does actually really like her. Like, it's not just the crazy moments he's had with her. He has realized that he potentially has feelings for her. So he's realized, good, because she already likes him, we know this. So we just need him to catch up. Oh yeah, the quintuplets thing. I've never actually seen that show. Like, it's one of those where I saw snippets of it, but I've never actually seen the show. Apparently it didn't end well, or something, I'm not sure. Or like, people weren't happy. Maybe that was what I was hearing. Yeah. Yeah. Really?
I mean, from the get-go, she's always ended up liking him. Ah, so was it a popularity thing once again? Wasn't that like oh, what show was it? I forget it. Wasn't it like the show where it's like, there's no way my sister can be this cute, blah blah blah. Kirino, which sounds very close to Kirito. But wasn't it when like her brother ended up getting with one of her friends and people just didn't like it, but it made sense? And then basically he had to break up with her because the sister got jealous. People were like, he should be with his sister. And it wasn't some nonsense like, oh, it's not actually his sister. It's like, no, it's his blood sister, and for some reason people wanted him to be with her in the end. Why? Why? That just wouldn't happen. She should have just been like, I don't know. I don't know why people got annoyed with that show. Like, because there were two girls. There was the sort of prim and proper one, but then you had the girl who liked to dress up in cosplay like a goth lolly. Because he was... I'm pretty sure they tried going out for a bit, and people were like, this is cute, but no. And I'm like, what? Heresy is what I say. A sister is a sister. I know it's a thing with maybe Japan, but a sister is a sister, especially if it's blood related. Like, I don't care what excuse you try to throw. Like, it's your sister. But maybe that's just because I have a sister and there's no way I would end up thinking such outrageous things. Especially when he actually got on really well with the other, like, sort of pro-tags in there. And heck, they actually did start dating. It's like, what was wrong with that? But you always got to be careful with romance and anime, because if it's going to be a harem, it usually is going to suck. And if it is going to be romance of some sort, it's usually going to be some form of comedy in there, or some nonsense, I don't know, blah. What you should never do is threaten the person that makes it. Like, if you don't like how it's turned out, drop it. Why the blazes have you suddenly got to send death threats to a person? Like, what? And your girlfriends that really, really, really love you did pretty well. Wasn't the premise of the 100 girlfriends thingy, some god messed up on, like, effectively the riz that the guy would have, and instead of it being spread out, he was given it within sort of a certain period of time, a short period of time. So it was that one. Okay. I haven't watched it, but yeah. You watched the plot. I see. Like 100 girlfriends? That's like one of those things when you have someone who never has any friends, and then they have a goal of, like, they want to get 100 friends, which, you know, is probably impossible, but it's a good goal, so to speak. But 100 girlfriends? I mean, technically, why is it that girlfriend always has to mean that you're dating? Like, if it is a guy, well, heck, it can be a guy or a girl, but if it ends up being the majority just are girls and their friends, then I feel like it could have a double meaning. You don't have to date them. Just be friends. Be friends with 100 girls. Oh, that show I have watched. Swanky. I've watched Call Me. That was kind of interesting. Like, it was nice that they tried to tackle someone who basically has essentially very bad anxiety and communication between people. Yeah, it was alright. I saw Fluff. Sorry. Show claims to be a parody, but your normal harem rom-coms. It reminds me of, what was the show? Can't remember the name. I must look, hang on. I know I've got it somewhere. From Donkey's Ears, because I don't delete much unless I really have to. Where is it? You, then you, then you. I assume I'd keep you in romance. Nizukoi. Nizukoi was a extremely annoying harem anime. That was the show where it likes to bring moments of yes, but it never, ever went anywhere. There was never any progress with anyone. So I was just like, why? Like, just pick one, god damn it. The main girl? Chitose? Was she the main one? Or was it the one that he liked, which was... I forget her name. Because you had her, who's obviously gangster child, basically. And then you had the person who he liked at his high school. Yeah, the brown-haired one. I forgot her name. It's been too long, okay? She was okay, but it kept doing everybody like, oh, no one can be ahead of the other girl. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what? Talking to in real life men talks. That feels like being cocky. When I was younger, I was a bit more like that, yeah. I'd say so. Well, wooing a girlfriend's mom makes sense to some degree, because there's people that like moms, so I feel like it's tick boxes at this point. Oh, we've got cute. Oh, we've got sexy. Oh, we've got the shy one. Oh, we need a mom. Okay, put the mom in there. Okay. What else? We've got the childhood friend. There we go. We've got the mysterious transfer student. There we go. Rigby. To be fair, in shows like that, moms are usually very good. The reason being is because they're actually mature. They feel mature than the other ones, instead of the other ones getting, you know, mega blush embarrassment and not saying what they want to say, and then you have the mom that comes out of nowhere and is just forward straight away, and it's like, finally, someone who speaks their mind. So I think that's why we end up liking those. Have I made marriage toxic? Toxin! I read it right in my head. But no, I have not. I have not. What else did I have here anyway? Oh yeah, Ore Monogatari. Not to be confused with the what's it? But Ore Monogatari. That was a nice romance one, and they actually start dating. So that one was nice. It was very sweet, so to speak. Leveled up versions of their daughters. An assassin who has to get married in order to keep his family line going. That's common in more fantasy tropes, but yeah. So he hires a cross-dresser to teach him to risk. Why a cross-dresser? He's like, wait, I assume he would have seen this cross-dresser and been like, oh my god, you have such thing. Ah, boys love bait. I see. I see. It's good to have those boys love times. Lord knows there's not too many of them, and Fujoshis can't really. Any time there is anything of boys love, they will jump at it because they don't get much, so I don't blame them. They don't get together. I see. Wait, so does that mean that he's gay and he has to get married to a lady? Oh, he says he's straight. Okay. I see. But it's all good and well saying one thing. It depends on how they're acting. There are also like other scenes where he looks at the other guy like a love interest. Yeah, I thought so. They will do. So basically teasing. Lots of teasing. Like, teasing can be alright, just don't let it go on for too long. Because if you do it for too long, it just gets... You get what Nisekoi says, where there's just so much teasing between every girl, every playfulness, everything, where they all just are like having a race, and if one gets further ahead than the others, suddenly the others have something happen that brings them up to speed. So, I hope they don't leave it too long. What else was there? What else have I got in here? I have Chipunyo Demokoi Gashita? Shitai? Shitai! Excuse my butchering of pronunciation. But that was a nice show. And they started dating. Yeah. It was cute, and I was so glad that they actually were dating. I was like, yes! And they're going through the early days of trying to get through the dating thing. bless him. I do not mind. I think shows where they sort of just get on with it are nice, because then it's just a continuation of the growth between them, and people accept it, so it's okay. But if you leave it hanging for ages and ages, like you're dangling a carrot in front of a donkey, like, obviously people are going to end up being more particular about whoever they like. And that's when you run into trouble, because you can't really guide it to the story that you were wanting, probably. What else have I got in here? I have... Did I even watch this? I have Ichigo 100%. Did I watch this? I must have watched it. I don't remember it though. I don't remember it. I really don't remember it. At the end of the carrot you receive gets stale and not enjoyable. Exactly. Exactly. That's why you can't dangle it for too long. It's the same like if you're playing with your doggo and you know you've got their favourite toy. Like, it's all good and well holding it and teasing them and not actually letting them have it, but eventually you've got to let them have it, else like they just it doesn't do well. They don't stay as interested, they're not as grand, they'll not really want to engage with you anymore to some degree, because you know you take too long, something like that. What was ones I actually enjoy? Seto no Hanayome was one I liked as well. Or was it Hanayomi? Hanayomi. But no, that's a fairly old one, but that was fun. That was a fun show. It was very funny. You don't get shows like those anymore. Kind of traditional but fun at the same time. And one I don't have here, but I wish I had it, was Tokimeki Memorial, Only Love. That was a good show. There's an older one called Bluer. I swear I remember someone mentioning that. Bluer than Indigo. I stopped watching it, but I wanted to continue again. I see. A cute and fun rom-com. I see. There's something nice about the classics, as it were. And some blowing. Yes. I think I have that show. I'm pretty sure I have that show. I started to watch it. Wotokoi? Wotokoi. That really sounds familiar. The mature one. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's more like, yeah, I get what you. Office workers. That definitely sounds familiar. I then again, I've watched a few that were like based in the office, because I was happy that, you know, it was in a, well, not a high school setting. Mm. It was the same with that was some blowing. It was the same with, oh, what was it called? What was it called? I think I remember it. I'm just trying to double check. Where did I put it? Is it in story? No. Was it Golden Time? What was it called? That's it was. I remember watching that and thinking, this is quite different from the usual. Because obviously it's during the, sort of college, uni years. So they're actually, you know, they've actually act mature, mostly. Like anything where it starts going away from high school sometimes is like, yay, finally. So, you know, college, uni is nice. Early days of like work, office stuff is nice. It's like, yeah, finally. Glorious. It annoyed you a little because he didn't think it was a supernatural show, and then it was like, surprise! None of it was a metaphor. It's a supernatural show. Mm. That is fair. There are some shows though where I'll see if I can remember. Tonikawa? Tonikawa. 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 Elaborate for me, Yagi. I may have done. Tonikawa? I have multiple places where I keep. Oh, nope, nope, I did not mean to click that. There we go. Tonikawa, Tonikawa. Not that one. Where is it? Oh, what's that over there? Hey Rain, welcome in. Hello. Hope you had a good rest. Romance starts first episode, so it just builds from there. The marriage and love life will working through things. And the protagonist finds out, and finding out about the protagonist's wife. Have I seen it? Oh, there is. It's not the one where his wife isn't actually an earthling, is it? Like she comes from the moon or something? It's not that one, is it? Oh, it is that one. Then yes, I've seen it. I thought it was... Wait, what did you call it? Tonikawa. I thought it was Tonikaku. Kawaii. Kawaii. Because in that one, she's not... Because the guy ends up getting in some bad accident? Or something, and she ends up helping? No, hang on. Or was it she that was in the accident? Oh my god, I can't remember. Or was it that he tried to save her and he was going to die because he tried to save her, and then she saved him, but then she's like, oh, let's get married in a few years if you're still around. Something like that. This was good, but you're up way too late. I mean, it's towards the weekend, so it's all good. I stayed up till like 4 AM. It says Tonikawa over the moon for you. The guy gets in an accident. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he went to go see... That's weird, I have it saved as Tonikaku. Let me check. Let me input my stuff. Come here. Whoosh. Yeah, fly me to the moon. Ah, okay. So in brackets it does have Tonikawa, but that's in the brackets bit. Yeah. This is the problem. I end up looking like... I look at what it's called in Japanese, and then when the... when people mention the other title, which is usually like what it would go to in English or something, I'm like, oh, okay. I think Tonikawa's probably where they've put the Tonikaku Kawaii together, so maybe that's them putting it together. Yeah. So they've put the two names together to make it be called Tonikawa. Yeah. Apologies. I tend not to use like nicknames for titles because I know that's fairly common. People give like nicknames to a series, especially if it's a long name. But I always just call it its original name. My bad. But yes. I've watched that show and the second season. It's a very nice show. Ah, okay. Yeah, it does translate to super cute. Because I would have thought like saying tonikaku is like saying anyway. Or it feels like saying anyway. Anyway, this is cute. It is cute. He does. He does. Also, if I could have like half the skills that man has, then yay. I haven't read the manga. I've only seen the anime. He is, like, incredibly talented. Like, it's such a wide range of skills as well. And if there was something he's particularly maybe not that skilled in, like, he does his best to rectify that. It's a good show. Oh yeah. It's nice when the manga's actually way longer than the anime. Usually if there's however many volumes, an anime would take, what, the first couple of volumes? And that's about it. Like, I think the only time I ended up reading a very lengthy manga series, hilariously, was Naruto, just because I was getting fed up of the fillers. So I just went to the manga and I just started reading the manga, which is great. I was like, cool, awesome show. I kept watching the anime, just it took forever. But I stopped watching it once it went over to Boruto. Thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. And it was like maybe the first 10 or so. There's 31 volumes currently. So many volumes! So many volumes! Holy balls! That's a lot of volumes. But that's cool. It's nice when there's like, especially when you do really enjoy it, and it's just like, it keeps going on. There was, I've mentioned it before, but it only had one volume, but it was like an office-like thing. I don't think it was a rom-com, but it was just like the daily life of a bunch of buggers that worked in an office, but it was surprisingly enjoyable to read. It was also a very kind of different manga to read, because you know how manga are usually structured for their panels. This one was like a straight 6 panel, as in like literally 6 boxes on each page, and that's how it stayed throughout. But it was really cool, but it only got 1 volume because apparently it didn't do that well, which I'm so sad because I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It's always the way. The stuff I actually really enjoy, nobody else does, and it just doesn't get a continuation, so I'm left with like nothing. Sad days. Because you think, oh, how is it exciting to hear about the daily lives of office people? And it's like, it just was. Not in the same vein, but for example, take Lucky Star. I really enjoyed Lucky Star way back when. I still do, but like way back when, I really enjoyed it. Just a slice of life. Also a parody, which was a first back then, but I enjoyed it. When I tried showing it to other people who liked anime, they found it boring as sin. And they also didn't get a lot of the references that were in the show. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was just, it was cool. I liked it. One more lovely romance you really love is The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I've seen the first season of that anime. It is nice. I saw like, I didn't watch the clip, but I seen a thing where it was like, oh, like his bully seems to come back or something. And then it does it like a typical, what I feel like you see in fantasy settings half the time, where some rude ass guy just comes along and is like, oh, woman, you're good looking, you shouldn't be with him, you should be with me. And yeah. It's like, you ain't gonna win the girl that way, that's for sure. But I haven't seen the second season yet. They couldn't get into Luxor and they couldn't follow all the parody. Yeah. Because back then, parody animes weren't a thing. They just weren't a thing back then. So Lucky Star was an unusual anime. But like, I loved it. Like, I got the references, even to shows that I hadn't seen. Like, I knew of them, at least. And lots of, like pop culture references, as well as even their daily shows, like famous people from that you'd see on like the daily shows where they'd be funny. You know, like Takeshi's Castle and that kind of thing, for example. Not from Lucky Star, but that kind of famous thing. Like, I was aware of those things, but I'm very into Japan, so yeah. But not everybody understood. And then having a whole scene where, oh, what was it? They took it from a scene, oh, which anime was it? It's been so long. It's been so long. I can't remember. Ear scratches, you say? I think it was an anime that no one would have ever seen over here, because it didn't air over here. But it was that kind of thing, and I was like, oh, they did that really well. To people that didn't know the scene, they were just like, what the hell was that about? I'm just like, you haven't seen the show, have you? And they're like, no. I'm like, ah. So, yeah. I liked it. While my brain still remembers. They even, because they had the same voice actor for Konata, for Haruhi, they did things like parodies to do with Haruhi, and even people who had seen Haruhi were like, what's this? Oh, this seems blue. And just like, but you've seen Haruhi. It's like, yeah. It's like, and it's like, well, you've got the person who voices Haruhi doing an imitation of that character as Konata, but being Haruhi. Like, follow. Thank you kindly. Oh, my skin. Hello, hamster. Welcome in. Some ear scratching. I cut my nails today, so I no longer have my wonderful nails. That's fair enough. Yeah. Mine get fairly long, so I have to cut them. But they always look like they still look good, like still pinkish on the actual nail itself, which is good. And the part that goes past the skin is still white, so they are healthy. Happy days. Do not neglect your toes though, because a lot of people neglect the feet, and especially if you work a lot on them. Coffee cup. I see a coffee cup and I immediately think of rain. I'm just like, I wonder if coffee has been had. I let mine get long enough, but I know if I let them get too long, I would eventually catch them when I'm working. And then one nail will be like broken, and I hate cutting my nails. Like, the best time to cut them is after a bath, because they're just soft and stuff. A hermit crab? That's not a fish. That's a nice shell. A conch. Is it a conch?
is a conch, isn't it? The shell. I don't know how long mine get. I just cut them when I think they're starting a bit beginning to be a bit too long. You caught a critter. How's critter included? Makes me think of the critters that Peach has. Flipping washing machine. Yeah, it is an amusing one. What did she actually call it anyway? Oh, she literally called it wash. That's funny. After being a menace. When has Peach ever... Wait, you say Magic Peach? Magic Peach? Like the magic ball? Someone did an animation of a washing machine and you were like, can I be put in the washing machine? And so I got put in. I mean, the weight limit of a washing machine is... It would not handle a person. Thank you for the follow. Thank you kindly. The one plushie she has, which she uses for yes or no questions. Yes, I remember that thing. Oh, so that's the Magic Peach. The one where she bulges out the stomach thing, yeah? That thing. In real life that would be terrifying. It just wouldn't work. Like, washing machines have weight limits. And the heavier ones are more like 10 kilograms. Your average person, even if they're super light, weighs like 50. So it just, not for long, it wouldn't support a human being. She calls it Magic Peach. I see. I see. Hello, Slode. Hello. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. True. I don't know. I'm sure someone could get creative with doing something. Oh yes. I should put in brackets with deep breathing, pins and needles. Don't tell you that. I mean, the only creative thing I could think of was, in a horror scene, like somehow, I don't know, the arm gets detached from the body and your arm is just left in the washer or something, I don't know. But obviously the washing machine itself isn't going to cause that, so no worries there. I've watched enough, like, gory anime gore stuff, so not my cup of tea, but like, as long as it's not too constant all the time, I'm okay. Have I seen Ray Zero? I haven't, no, because it was popular. I have this thing where if something's popular,
I stand back and I leave it alone, and if I end up bumping into it, like, later, of my own accord, then I'll give it a go. But I think the other reason I stayed away from it was just because at the time when it was airing, for my mindset, it's just not something I wanted to watch at the time, so I didn't watch it. So I was okay. Yes, I shall do some deep breathing first. While clearing my throat. I will have to stop there, for it makes me lightheaded, and my word, pins and needles in my hands and stomach. I'm not used to breathing through my mouth. I usually breathe through my nose. Am I British? Yes. Yes, I am. Indeed, I am. Well, it doesn't hurt me, but yeah, it's too much air. Too much air. But I never force myself to watch things. That's why I don't go for things where they're immediately popular, because, well, I'll look into it briefly, but depending on how I'm feeling at the time, if I'm not feeling it, I just won't. I don't know what goriest thing I've seen. There's been gorier things, but I know Higurashi is generally like an interesting one. The main thing I remember from Higurashi is when I think it was oh, it's the green-haired one. Shion. Is when Shion took I forget her name as well, but the main deity, they don't know she's a deity, but it's like when they take her, they were down in the basement, she's kind of losing it, and she's like, ah, if you're really sincere about what's it, then do this for me. And she has a thing where she basically has to forcibly remove her fingernails. Like there's a thing where she just has to whack it herself. Shion doesn't do it, she makes her do it herself. She has to like hit it and remove her nails, which obviously is incredibly painful. And at one point she kind of failed to do it, and so the fingernail was like half off. That's the main thing I remember from Higurashi. And then at one point, deity, because if she dies, she resets things. She eventually just gets fed up and sees that someone else has succumbed to sort of the virus thing, and she just like stabs herself until she dies. While I think it was with Shion, while Shion just sort of stares and laughs hysterically. That's what I remember from Higurashi.
It's an interesting show.
It resets every 4 episodes, I believe. You often get lightheaded if you stand up too fast or stretch wrong. Understandable, understandable. I get a light head if my bath is too hot and I get out of it, because I've obviously been sort of laying down in a very hot place, and then I get out of the hot place and stand, and I'm like, oh. You're near London? Not exactly near, but within 100 miles of it. Close enough. Also, yeah, sorry, I casually mentioned some horrible scenes, but no. The main premise behind Higurashi is that the goddess is trying to like have this village escape sort of the outcome of them being affected by this virus that happened like way back when. So the village is basically stuck in a loop until they don't go mad, something like that. I vaguely remember that. And the sort of main protag doesn't... Effectively everyone's memories are supposed to be reset every time. But at one point, and in some circumstances, there are times where some people do remember the other, like, runs, as it were. So they remember certain people losing it, getting affected by the virus, getting hysterical. And at one point, it looked like, even though one person got affected by it and stuff did kind of happen, because of the main protag remembering, he successfully manages to bring the person back, sort of like away from the virus. So he managed to make it so that they didn't kill someone, basically. But it still resets anyway, and the goddess gets confused. She's like, but no one died, and they even managed to change the outcome of what usually happens when someone gets infected. So then it becomes sort of a more mystery thing of like figuring out why it's still reset, like what messed up still, what needs to be fixed that wasn't actually seen. And then it continues from there. But that's like later into the show. It's an older anime, but still good.
But yes, it is still a horror. There is still, you know, horrific scenes in it, technically. So, if you're not comfortable with those things, I wouldn't recommend watching. But it is a good show. You get lightheaded after standing in a hot bath. But you have a bath, praise be. Do you know how many people have showers? It's nice when people are like, I have a bath. I love baths. I like baths. Like, it's a time for me to chill, sit down, ignore everything, and just relax. It's nice. Some people just prefer, like, showers and such. Golden red-eye red. A golden red-eye red. Okay. Interesting. But I got confused the first time watching Higurashi, because obviously every 4 episodes it resets, so I got very confused at the fact that things began again. I was like, what on earth? What on earth? But then I understood how it was structured. I think it was 4 episodes, but it does happen. Every bunch of episodes it resets and starts from the beginning, so to speak, and then things change slightly. Because the beginning starts with, like, he loses it, and he thinks that people are out to get him, which they're not, it's all in his head. He thinks that he was being fed needles, and he's like, I found needles, but then afterwards, when things had, like, basically after he ended everything, it shows, like, a police investigation thing, and it shows that, like, supposedly he found proof of the fact that they were trying to kill him, but then when they took a look, nothing was there. So at that point you're thinking, well, from those first few episodes you end up thinking either that they found his evidence, like whoever did it, and took it before the police could find it, which was one of what I thought. No, what it ends up being is it was actually in his head, and there was never anyone there. There was never anyone chasing to kill him. It was just literally him becoming hysterical and going insane. And then it goes through the different girls. Every girl that you see in that show will lose it. It will be their turn next, kind of thing. So, sad day is... I can't remember who it was, but one of them got annoyed at the fact that the little sister, because there were 2 of them that really liked one of the young girl's brother, who was no longer around, but would cling to him when they were. So when they went hysterical, they took it out on her, and I'm like, ooh. What a show, sorry. What a show. But those that shows, like, along the lines of, like, if anybody's ever seen Another, sort of that style of show. The only horror anime you remember watching was Uzumaki when it came out 2 years ago. It was a watch party. Uzumaki. Hard not to think of Naruto when I hear that surname, but yeah. It wasn't very horror, just weird. I see.
don't know what it is, but there's just a certain atmosphere with Japanese horror specifically. I like the atmosphere that Japanese horror create. Can it be scary as hell? Yes. But I don't know. I like that there's usually, and this is usually the thing with horrors, I like that they make a general story of things that have gone on, and I like learning and piecing together the different informations that we end up finding out through horror stuff, if you can, you know, deal with that. Oh, Junji Ito, the famous screwed up. Like, his works are usually can be very screwed up in some way. I know the name. Yeah. They are quite the thing. But yeah, I tend not to watch that much horror, really, because I do get affected by it, but it's fun. It's fun. In any form of media. Fair enough. Like, because usually the horrors there, actually, it can either be there to try and distract you, or to just make it so you're not playing a walking sim. That's fair though, like at least you can watch people play them. I'm the same regardless. Like, you think playing it would be worse, but sometimes I think it's actually better, because I just have the mentality that I learned from when I played Dead Space when that first came out, of just initially yelling at the thing and just going forward and stomping them like a crazy person. Overly aggressive, I guess, is the term. That's what I did. And yeah. But games, horror games, while can be scary, I can deal with those. Horror films, not so much. I don't mean like American horror, because half the time they're stupid. That's why I mentioned specifically like Japanese horror. Like, Japanese horror just make a particular atmosphere, and it always draws me in, and I can't really. It's the best way. Because, like, I used to find, originally, like, I used to find Gears of War scary, just before it came out. Because graphically, I had never seen anything graphically that had looked that good. And it was obviously very bloody as well, and gory, and I was like, whoa, this is a lot to take in, and it was not my cup of tea. And then again, when it came to playing Dead Space for the first time, I was trying to be so cautious that it's the usual, if you're left with your own mind, that's honestly what's making it worse. Your own mind is making it worse than it really is. But I had a friend in college who played it, and they just would yell and go ballistic at the enemy, and I'm like, huh, I'll try that. And it worked. It made me push forward. And then I was like, you know what? I can play horror games. I know Dead Space you have guns. And technically if you're given weapons, that's good. Like, it's already better than a horror that doesn't give you a way to fight back. But it was still nice. It helps. Just yell at the enemy. Treat them like a spider, in the sense of like, they're more scared of you than of me. Than me of them. There we go. I wish I could run through half the enemies. Dead Space it was a bit hard to, because they usually locked the door, because it was like a contamination kind of thing. So you couldn't really run away from the enemy. You kind of just had to deal with them. I feel like Phantasmaphobia has been around long enough now, and people, for those that have played it a lot, they've played it so much that they're just used to it. From what I've seen of it, I wouldn't even detect half the things that people know what it is. But again, that comes from experience of playing it. But I never found it scary. I was just like, oh, sounds are happening. And then you kind of see something, maybe. Like, if I'm to think when I was most scared, I think I was more scared playing Fatal Frame 4 than I was with anything else. Because... all because of that mannequin lady. Because I was expecting her to do something, but what she ended up doing was different from what I was imagining. Because I was like, oh, she's gonna move in a second, like maybe when I'm out of, like when the camera is out of frame, and I was like, she's gonna do that, and then I'm gonna turn, and then she's gonna have moved, or you know, she's just gonna come at me when I turn back round, like a jump scare. No, what does she do? I look at her, she doesn't move for a really long while. I even went through quite a bit of the room. Didn't move. Then when my camera was at the edge, or like when the mannequin was at the edge of like my screen, she moved slightly. Didn't come at me, just moved slightly. And I'm like, but she didn't do it instantly, because I sort of stared there. It was when I went, it was like the game detected an input of I was starting to move the camera, and as it detected that, she then moved the arms. I was like, you... You were scared half the time I was playing Fatal Frame? I did end up playing 2. 2 I didn't find as scary at all, really. I think because I was getting more annoyed at the subtle changes they did, and I really didn't like them. So there was more annoyance there, because there were things that I didn't want, like they didn't need to be changed, sort of thing. So I think that's why I didn't find the remake of 2 as scary, because I was just getting annoyed at it. And having next to no ammo, oh my god. So annoying. That was the biggest annoyance. Fatal Frame, ammo. Never limit the ammo. It doesn't make it fun. It doesn't make it fun. Just let me have as much as I want. Like, what the hell? And Silent Hill F, I know many people said as a Silent Hill game it was eh. I still think they should have just called it a different name. It shouldn't have been in the Silent Hill series. But I enjoyed playing it. It was quite fun. Things I expected to move and did still managed to jump me. Segments where, you know, it was clear, I turn around. Or, you know, you look at the thing, there's nothing there in the hallway. You turn around to look at something, you go to go back, suddenly it's full of all the mannequin things, you're like... like, again, tense. It was nice. It was a nice tenseness. But the second half definitely was full of a lot of fighting, which isn't necessarily its strength, and like in any horror setting, pacing is important. Having you constantly be in battle mode doesn't make you scared, because your body's just going to be pumped and ready for fighting, that you're not even thinking about those kind of things anymore. You're just in battle mode, so it's not going to scare you. So as a horror game, it kind of dropped it on the second half, because it's just like, I'm battling too much. Like, the ending being a rush to get up there and whatever, fine, but there was plenty even before that where you're just battling constantly. You're going from different rooms and you're just like, here's a boss fight, here's a mini boss, here's a few extra enemies. It's like, why am I fighting so much? Like, yeah, pretty much. Like, when nothing is happening for a really long time, then you get concerned, because it's like, well, what's it going to throw at me? Like, the longer you work someone up in their own mind is the greatest thing you can do for horror. Because if you're properly, like, you know, just fiddling with their mind, you're poking at them, you're, like you said, you're trying to make them be on edge, then you go get them. Yeah. I don't know, just... pacing is very, extremely important for horror. As is sounds, and animations, and stuff. Like, there's a reason people find the nurses from Silent Hill to be eerie, because of the way they look, they move. The Pyramid Head being this really big, strong bloke that can rip you in half like your paper. Like, there's reasons people get scared of these things. You on edge when I was playing Pragmata? Really? It was fun. Pragmata was good fun. Ah, yes. Yeah, like, enemy variety is definitely important. Especially when it's something you don't even know what it is. Especially if you've gotten used to what you are fighting, then throwing in something new, mixed with what you're already familiar with, but can potentially be, like, annoying, maybe, is the thing. Was room 1408? I have not seen it. I'm unfamiliar with it. I tend to stay away from horror films. Mainly just because I don't really watch films, but I don't know, I've seen some here and there, but none that really, like, come to me.
Oh, I'll do this actually. Mom.
That did make me laugh. A branch. It's quite amusing. Hang on. Oh, it appears I have food. I don't want sitting like this. Can you, like, sit more up and not fall? Dear God, please don't fall. If you fall, that would be such a mess. I have katsu curry with, well, I know it will have an egg. It will either have dumplings or like wieners, because it's not the octopus little thing they have to do over here, but similar. What I like to do is, well, first I need to remove the chicken, because they put leaves underneath, and the reason they have the leaves underneath is because it's in a packaging thingy, because obviously it's a takeaway. It sweats a lot, so the leaves are there to absorb all the moisture and wetness. So yeah, I remove those. I put the chicken back in. I pour the sauce in there, and then I just sort of grab bits of rice while I'm eating with the thing. Sticky rice, by the way. I love sticky rice. Sorry. Sticky rice is nice. I love sticky rice. Sticky rice is so nice. People like, how do they pick up their rice? It's like, because it's sticky as hell, that's why. Like, that's why you can pick up the rice. Like, if it was just simply basmati or something else, then yeah, it's gonna be a painful experience trying to pick it up with chopsticks. But sticky rice? So easy. And I may not be Asian, but no rice grain gets away. I eat all of my rice. Rice is important after all. It is nice. But yes, I don't want this getting cold, so and technically it's been a while since I've done over 3 hours. Been a while, but it was fun. Like, things were very active today, which is yay. But with that said, I will look for someone to raid. Clicky clicky. Clicky clicky. Where are we going? Ah.
What is it with the weekend? Like, every other streaming day, there's like a gajillion people on. But when it comes to the weekend, nobody's there. Oh wait, no. I know why. It's because the time's a bit different. Usually it'd be a few hours extra. That's true. That's what I get for having a difference in time. Always nice to start your weekend here. Good. Good. I'm glad, Rain. I'm glad. Oh, I'm hitting something. I'm hitting a part of my cable. I don't want to hit the connector. I do not want to hit that. Oh, that'll do then. We'll go raid Noodle. I need to explore times for my Saturdays to have a wider variety. But yes. Whoosh. Indeed. Indeed. We're going to raid. First raid message is if you're subbed. The one with the hearts is if you're not. I'm trying to copy that one. There we go. Thank you too, Raven. Thank you all. I'm glad you could be here. I'm glad you all could be here. Discord is there, and YouTube is there, where I upload my VODs and such. But yes, thank you for the follows. Do take care, everybody. Keep your liquids up. You as well, Rain. Have a good rest of your day. Have a nice weekend. Hope you all have a nice weekend. And hope it doesn't fly by too fast. Enjoy what you can of it. Even if it is brief. But yes, do take care of yourselves. I'll see you on Tuesday for Pokemon Crystal. Carry on with that. And yeah, next day ASMR will be on the Wednesday. Yes, do take care of yourself. Bye bye. Bye bye. Whoa.